Good evening, everyone. Today is Friday, March 10, 2023. Why buyer asking C.I.F cost insurance and freight only? The answer is because the buyer has a limited cash and he is going to leverage in order to resell it to his own end buyer. Buyer asking C.I.F considered as launderer, gold and money laundering. They are using to launder gold in order for their own benefit. Now, this morning, because my office open 7 days a week, this is my online home-based office. I'm based in Australia. The gold is in Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone. So I have a conference. I interrogate both buyer and buyer's agent. The buyer wanting to buy gold, big quantity, asking C.I.F. To all buyers or gold trader or broker, don't be naive because C.I.F stands for cost insurance and freight only. There is no way that you can get gold in Africa without paying the total amount, the value of your order. During my conversation, because I interview the buyer, and the buyer says he doesn't trust Africa. And I listen to that buyer, and he's Chinese. He's from Korea. He's Korean but Chinese origin. He said that he's been scammed in Ghana. And I told him the reason why you have been scammed in Ghana, because you think that you can get gold C.I.F. And he was offered to pay taxes. To all sellers, whether you're in Ghana, Mali, Conakry, Sierra Leone, Kampala, Nairobi, or Cameroon, please do not tease the buyer. Your government will not allow their property to take out without declaring that you are going to export to a particular buyer. Now in Cameroon, the tax is 17%. In Ghana, the tax 7 or 8%. Because I'm not dealing with Ghana. I just want to share with you my interview with this particular buyer. Today, I interviewed the buyer. 5 out of 5 didn't meet the criteria. I'm going to explain step by step again and again. The reason why buyer didn't meet the criteria, because the buyer thinking that he can get C.I.F because he was being offered. He went to Ghana, he was being offered pay taxes. Don't you know that Ghana is very strict? You guys, you sellers and buyers, you are tarnishing Africa. That's why you were being duped, you were being cheated, you were being scammed because it is your fault. When the seller offer you undervalued 35, 48, 39, that is not the price because there is VAT. It says the sales tax rate charged to the consumer based on the purchase price of the certain goods, whatever the price on the world market, the VAT is always based on the world market price. It says the benchmark the seller use or the country use for the sales tax rate refer to the highest rate, meaning to say whatever the price of the day, whether high or low, it's always based on that market price. That tax rate, the revenue from the sale sales tax rate are important source of income of that country. Mhm. So you were being offered, you as a gold trader or buyer or whatever you are, whether you are syndicate or smuggler, you have to pay. That's why you've been caught. Mm. You were being caught because you're trying to leverage. A minute you're asking CIF, you are considered launderer. You go on the internet, what is the meaning of money and gold laundering? I have an article on my platform on Facebook. I do the research. I put that into my platform in order for the buyer to understand, in order for the buyer not to do crooked way. Mhm. Now, you're gonna ask, well, Amina, how much the tax in Mali? In Mali, 7%. Whatever the value of the day, the price of the day, 7%. You have to pay the products plus value added tax. That is normal. Today I went for shopping. Our government sales tax here in Australia is 10%. We don't have any complaint. Whether you buy groceries or clothing or pay the phone or buy the phone, always government sales tax. We don't have any complaint. You buy mobile phone, you buy iPhone plus government sales tax 10%. The checkout lady or the sales lady would not tell you about the government sales tax. They just add it and you're gonna see the receipt 10%. Because we are aware. In Australia, we are all aware that we are going to pay the government sales tax. So the shop owner will remit that to the ATO, to the taxation every year. Buying gold, exactly the same. The seller will charge you the value added tax. How much is the tax on every bar? Is 4,900. So if you don't have a capital and then you travel to Africa, you're stuck in Sierra Leone, you're stuck in Mali, you're stuck in Conakry, you're stuck in Kampala, you're stuck in Ghana, and then you come to Wilhelmina. When you do the research on YouTube and Facebook, my video pop up because I'm the only person who explain. And we don't deal cheap price. We don't deal cheap buyer. This is a real business. You are buying money to make money. What is the purpose? You, Mr. Buyer, buying gold. What is the purpose? The purpose is very simple. We are now under inflation. Everybody buy tangible goods, which is gold. You keep that to yourself. And when you need the money, you can walk into the bank or you can walk into the pawn shop. You can resell. You can sell the gold. Now, we are not selling gold bullion here. We are selling raw material, which is a Dore bar. Dore bar has many uses. Right. You're going to say, oh, madam, we are buying gold from Switzerland. Switzerland has no gold. Swiss gold trader, they travel around the world, they travel to Africa, they buy raw materials and brought it to Switzerland to refine it into gold bullion 99.99. Without raw material, there would be no gold bullion. There's none. The raw material is very important. And Wilhelmina's role is also very important. I am a business facilitator between the buyer and the seller. I have a very important role in this industry. The seller hired Wilhelmina to handle the marketing on their behalf. And you, Mr. Buyer, you would never find a beautiful lady here in front of you and very tough and very strict because this is for your own benefit. This is not my own benefit. I put everything, the carats, the purity of the gold, where the gold coming from. Mali 7% tax, Conakry 6.5% tax, Sierra Leone 6.5 tax. Yeah, you have to pay the products plus value added tax. Now you're gonna say, well, Amina, how much is the tax in Sierra Leone? Sierra Leone tax is 6.5. Whatever the price of the day, use your calculator. Today is almost 59. Today is Friday. So the price of gold is high and low. Always multiply 6.5, whatever the price of the day. The tax in Conakry is 6.5, which is 3,797 as today. So don't bank on it, because I'm just explaining to you, because there was a buyer stuck in Africa. He was not being advised. Now, Wilhelmina, how much is the tax in Conakry, Guinea? The same, 6.5. Mhm. And if you don't have the capital, and if you cannot show us the proof that you are a real buyer, you're gonna fail. Look at this buyer stuck in Ghana. Failure. He was begging me this morning to help him to sell gold to him. And I told him, how long you been in Ghana? 3 weeks. He was been a failure. Right. And I told him I was in Ghana. I was being screwed. I was being even scammed in Ghana with the lady. Her name is Pamela Pillow. I'm not finished with her. And I was being screwed by Mexican. I brought the buyer in Ghana right to my own seller. My seller is real in Ghana. I fired them all. I told the seller, you're gonna regret it, because I'm going to announce that I have a bad experience in Ghana. No way will touch Ghana. No way. Most of the gold in Ghana coming from border to border is smuggled. That's why Ghana was being marketed massively many years ago. Where the gold coming from is smuggled from Cameroon. Johnson Smith brought the gold in Ghana. Okay? Smuggled because the tax is too high. Okay, the gold from Liberia is smuggled in Ghana. Stuck at the security company. Right. So I don't want to elaborate. I don't want to deal Ghana. So this buyer stuck in Ghana for 3 weeks was begging me. I said, no, I am not a policewoman. You travel to Ghana, you deal with a cheap offer. He was being offered 37. Well, he paid the price. He's stuck. You know, to stay in Ghana, the hotel is not cheap. So that is the reason why I'm here again and again. Why the gold? Why the buyer asking C.I.F? Why the buyer is asking is BLC? They are all smuggler. You guys are smuggler. You have no idea why you ask for C.I.F. You don't have the capital. You're going to leverage. You're going to smuggle. You are going to teach African to smuggle. Yeah, sellers will smuggle it. Some sellers, they will use diplomat, and some diplomat using airlines, official airline carrying the gold. We don't do that. I told my seller, it doesn't matter how hungry you are. You control the supply, because gold is money. That's the reason why the seller hired Wilhelmina in order to educate you guys all over the world. Few years back, I watched the video, I watched the conference, and all ECOWAS. There was a speaker from Switzerland, and that ambassador from Switzerland. I think their delegation, the speaker, the lady was talking on that ECOWAS, and that lady, the ambassador, says to all ECOWAS member, to all their president, because all the president attending the ECOWAS seminar or symposium. We from Switzerland, we are buying raw materials in your country. Mali is a member of ECOWAS. Conakry is a member of ECOWAS. Sierra Leone, member of ECOWAS. So you guys have no idea, thinking that you can get the gold C.I.F. There are so many offers C.I.F. That seller is a smuggler. He's going to smuggle to you. Watch out. You will be caught if you are not very careful. Just like this one. Mhm. Just like this one. Was caught. Big syndicate. So if you're a gold trader, you're asking C.I.F, your small syndicate, you're gonna lose money. I'm telling you. There was a Chinese lady lose $1 million in Ghana a few years back. There was a buyer lose money in Sierra Leone. There was a buyer lose money in Conakry and Mali. So then you're gonna say, I don't trust Africa. It is your fault because you were being ignited to pay taxes. It's impossible. It's impossible you get the gold because the government would not give the certificate of clearance without the receipt of your payment called cash inflow from your bank account to the seller's bank account. You transfer the payment. Before you transfer the payment, Wilhelmina will interrogate you. Wilhelmina will interview you. You come on my YouTube channel, the full corporate offer is there in front of you. When you come to Wilhelmina like this morning, so many people come and I told them, how did you know Wilhelmina? Oh, I searched on YouTube. I saw you on YouTube and I went through your Facebook and I told them, did you read? Go back and read again and watch the video because everything has been explained. One Filipino stays work at the Middle East. I rejected him with his buyer and he created a group chat. I interviewed him just only 10 minutes. Finish. I told him good luck. He's asking me to tell my seller to bring gold in the airport of his country. That is very dangerous. No way the gold will leave the country without certificate of clearance as a report. The ownership, custom clearance, it's in here, in front of you guys. But you're not reading. No matter how I put everything. That's the reason why I'm here, because I would like to share what I have interrogated these 5 buyers today. I'm just like a policeman, a policewoman interrogated the buyer. My interrogation is very simple. How did you found Wilhelmina? Say, oh, Wilhelmina, I'm a buyer. Okay, prove to me you are the buyer. Because I already proven. You went to my YouTube channel and you went through on my Facebook. It has been proven. Right. So if you didn't read, you're going to fail. Because when you come for conference with Wilhelmina, you're going to be rejected and you're going to be blocked so that you will not come back. You go somewhere else, people will offer you 35, 37, go for it. I'm telling you, you're going to burn out your pocket and your fingers. Meaning to say, you're going to lose money. There was an American guy. He didn't listen to me. And he went to Kampala. And I told him that gold from Kampala is smuggled from Congo. Congo is a lot of gold and diamond. Because the Congo is United Nations embargo, no one will touch it. So they bring it to Tanzania. They bring it to Kampala. They bring it to Nairobi. They bring it to Ghana. Ghana is a transit. Nairobi is a transit. If you watch the video, I think few years back, royal family of Dubai was being scammed. Gold coming from Congo, it was transit in Nairobi. You watch that. You search. Scandal, $1 million of family, royal family. They were being a victim because the nephew was offered very cheap. Once you offer very cheap, think about it. To me, when I buy something, if it's cheap, I don't like to buy cheap. I want to buy the price. Yes, because if the price is right, durable. If the price is not right, it's not durable. You're waiting for disaster at the end of the day. Mhm. So now, Mr. Baya, you meet Wilhelmina. My role is very important to your business. Yes. I know you've been searching and running around talking to different chain of broker, which I did this morning. 5 of them didn't meet the criteria. They didn't read the full corporate offer. And they sent me information. I told him, the information that you're telling me exactly the same on what you have found me in the beginning. But you didn't read. We will not send you a blank contract. We will not. Because our contract would not be float around soliciting from chain of broker and copy and cut and paste. No, we don't. This is the contract. Yeah, this is the contract. This is 9 pages contract. Right, 9 pages. This is the contract of my head office. I have everything. So when you send an LOI, meaning to say, you have to introduce yourself. There, Wilhelmina, I went through your YouTube channel. I'm very interested to purchase 10 or 500 kilos from your company letterhead, address, telephone number, Skype, and WhatsApp. And you're gonna state, Wilhelmina, I'm going to buy gold 22 plus carats. I'm looking for 96, 97 purity. The mode of payment, Wilhelmina, C.I.F. A minute you're gonna say C.I.F., your LOI would be on the wheelie bin because we don't deal C.I.F. This is F.O.B. This is not LC. This is not SBLC. I mentioned that on my previous video that if the buyer using SBLC, you are going to use this contract. I don't mind because you're gonna borrow money, but this contract, you're gonna show it to your bank that you are going to buy valued goods to Africa. So your bank manager would see the contract, who is the seller, because the bank manager will say, why are you sending money to Africa? Because Africa is a red flag of gold laundering. Yes, that is why one of the big company in Switzerland and in Dubai was been questioned, was been arrested. Gold coming from Africa. May 13, there was a big case of money laundering from London. Yeah, this one. You can search it on online. Type this one. You will see. I'm sharing you guys so that you're gonna be aware. Do not deal with the laundering. If you don't understand what is laundering, just like you have a dirty clothes, you put your dirty clothes in the washing machine, you clean it, then you hang it to your outside of your house. Buying gold exactly the same. If you don't know the meaning what is laundering, you do the research online. Then you will understand. You, Mr. Buyer, you are part of syndicate asking C.I.F. You don't have the money. You're gonna say, well, Amina, send me the FCO. The FCO is here. The FCO is more very extensive. The VAT, Conakry, Mali, Sierra Leone, we have gold and diamond. But how are you able to secure if you don't have this? If you don't have this, I'll show you. Right. This money with no value if there is no gold reserve. This is Australian dollar. I live in Brisbane. Yeah, this is our money. Right. So now you're buying gold in Africa, US dollar, not Australian dollar. They don't accept Australian dollar. In Africa, even in Dubai, they always accept US dollar. Right. But our money is very important. They're not used to receive a Australian dollar, but you go to Singapore or Hong Kong, this money is valuable. You go to Philippines, this is valuable. Yeah. So if you don't have this, if you don't have US dollar in your bank account, you wouldn't be able to get the gold. So your business would not function. So now you keep on running around and running around thinking you can get gold for free. You're buying money. Money is not for free. Right, Mr. Baya. Now, Mr. Baya, again and again, the full corporate offer is on this video. What is the meaning of FCO? It stands for full corporate offer. It says here very clear. The buyer has to send an LOI. Attention to Wilhelmina. Mr. Buyer, I am your facilitator. I am assisting you to secure gold in Africa. But my services is not for free. You're watching me on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook. Information is worth $1 billion according to Philip. A German man been watching my video. I said the information worth $1 million according to Philip. No, Wilhelmina, your knowledge is not $1 million. Your knowledge worth $1 billion because you are promoting Africa. The gold is worth $1 billion, which is correct. Most of you guys, joker broker, doesn't like Wilhelmina. I just been to Africa 2020, 2014, 19, 20, 21, 22. I only travel to Africa when you meet the criteria based on your letter of interest coming from you, Mr. Baya. We don't send the video on your name, meaning to say you are going to use the video to find the buyer. All of my pictures on my YouTube or my Facebook, there is a message so that no one can copy it. My video was being copied by a thief from Ghana. I found out today. So I responded on the group that this video belonged to my seller, which is I brought the buyer 2022 in the office. When I was in Dubai, how many buyers from Dubai wanting to see me? A lot. None of them meet the criteria. And before they meet me, I asked them, download your bioteam because I want to interview you first before you come to Wilhelmina at Holiday Inn. When they meet me, we meet each other in the bar or on the restaurant. Middle of my conversation, he said he has the buyer. Can you imagine that? In the beginning on my conversation on both him, I am the buyer. So when I meet him in person, I have the buyer. So that person is very deceitful. Reject. Reject, reject, reject. So if you don't like Wilhelmina, your business would not function. It's better to like Wilhelmina because Wilhelmina is very straightforward. No such broker show his or her face. None. They're scared to show their faces. I'm not scared. I'm not. I would love to help you, Mr. Buyer. Three of us. The seller is hungry to sell and you're hungry to buy. Wilhelmina is hungry to service you. This is business. You come to my platform. This is my online store. You read, you search on YouTube, my video pop up into your screen. You go on Facebook, the page is very extensive. You select Conakry, Mali, and Sierra Leone. You're gonna say, Wilhelmina, what is the price? That is a very good question. Our selling price, less 8%. Whatever the value of the day, whatever the price of the day, less 8%. You're gonna say, oh, too expensive. Well, you're buying expensive item. So if you think that very expensive, Meaning to say you don't have cash. You have a limited cash. Mhm. The real buyer would not talk too much. Only bullshit buyer talk too much. I call you guys bullshit because you're running around and running around. Let's have a cup of coffee. The time is 7 o'clock in the evening. Today is Friday. Mhm. This is my office. This is my home-based office. There is no gold in this office. None. The gold is Mali. The gold is in Conakry. The gold is in Sierra Leone. I will take you there based on your letter of interest to purchase. Attention to Wilhelmina Ford. Mhm. When I receive it, I will call you, Mr. Buyer. When you send an LOI, I would like to see your business registration. I would like to see your importation license. I would like to see your passport copy. And I would like to see the proof of fund that you have standby available fund in your bank account. No one will steal your money. Your information is intact with Wilhelmina. You are not dealing with the third party. You are not dealing with chain or broker. You are dealing directly to us. I am the extension of the seller. But when I travel, Mr. Buyer, yes, I do charge my extra service to accompany you. Don't travel without Wilhelmina. Don't. Because I'll tell you, you're gonna fail. So my charges, Mr. Buyer, today the gold is high. The airline ticket is high. The hotel accommodation is not cheap anymore. I do charge $20,000 to cover my travel cost. In spite of that, Mr. Buyer, I will negotiate the price to my head office. Instead of 8%, I can give you 10 to 11%. You sell it to your buyer 2%, right? You have 9% discount. Tax included, Mr. Buyer. I was the one was asking my head office, let's give the buyer an opportunity to start tax included. But we will review that on the second shipment because yearly the government changes. Now, Mr. Buyer, you're gonna say, Wilhelmina, send me the SPA. We don't send SPA unless I am interviewing you, unless I'm convinced that you are a buyer. Because I'm going to gather your address, your email, etc., and your banking details, and I'm going to put this on the contract. Yeah, here. Yeah. I'm going to put this on the contract, your banking details, your information. And you will attach your passport copy. And when you receive the contract, everything, seller's information, company profile, banking details, mining license, etc., etc., attached on this contract. Then you review the contract. Wilhelmina will sign on the below of the contract that you did talk to Wilhelmina and you did understand what the contract is all about, and you did understood what the full corporate offer. You're gonna say, Wilhelmina, I need a copy of the mining license. You will receive the copy of mining license after you send the LOI, because we will respond to you with the company letterhead, with the company profile, who is my seller. I will determine which seller I'm going to place you, either in Sierra Leone, either in Mali, either in Conakry. I'm the boss. I have the power to reject you, and I have the power to negotiate the price. So we don't sell cheap price, Mr. Buyer. We don't. Because you are buying money to make money. We will give you the good price in a proper way so that when you take the gold out of the country, you will not be dupe. And I'm going to supervise. I'm going to say where is the assay report, and I have to be with you on the ground. If there is an issue or you don't like, I can find the backup because I know different seller. Mhm. So you go with Wilhelmina, I can guarantee you, you will get the gold, provided you convince us. Mhm. Whether I will put you at Sierra Leone or Conakry. If you are from Dubai, Conakry from Dubai, one stop. And you're gonna say, well, Amina, I wanna buy gold, brings to brings. Excuse me, Mr. Baya. Brings is your logistic. We will give you an opportunity to use brings, but you have to sign a contract with the buyer first and the seller. The brings will not pick up the gold to central bank in Conakry because Conakry has brings. Conakry has MS and Mali. And my seller in Sierra Leone have a logistic. And my seller in Sierra Leone, the logistic has been dealing for 10 years. It's on my platform. Mhm. So every seller has his own logistic. I was the one who convinced my seller in Conakry to open the window of opportunity to allow the buyer to use brings. We don't bring the gold to brings. We don't. You're gonna say we will deal brings to brings? Yes. You have to pay first the gold before the brings will pick up at the central bank. In Conakry, you come to the office, inspect the gold. You have to buy a gold analyzer. You spend money. You can buy that online. There's $10,000 just like a gun, right? If you're a gold trader, if you don't have the money, then you are a small timer. The gold will be assay at the central bank or the geological laboratory in Conakry. You will receive the assay report. You must remember, Mr. Baya, it doesn't matter if he is my seller. African seller is very hard to deal with. Believe me. He will not pick up your call if he doesn't like you. Yeah? He would not show up on time. I'm telling you. I know the attitude of the African seller. I am educating them at the moment. When I was in Africa, appointment 9 o'clock, they show up 12 o'clock. The reason is that, oh, it's traffic, it's traffic. I don't believe that. I said to my head office, appointment 9 o'clock. You leave the office 2 hours before 9 o'clock. Why? Because of the traffic. And I was even angry when I was in Africa 2022. The driver didn't come on time. And I keep on calling, where's the driver? We're coming. When? What time? Were they? A minute. Sometimes my temper is very, very bad when my temper goes up. And I told the seller, the partner, define me what is the meaning of a minute. In Australia, when appointment 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Appointment 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. If I'll be late, I'm gonna call the person. I'm sorry, I'm late. Can you forgive me? We always give an allowance. African would not give an allowance. They have a very bad attitude. Yes, that is the reason why, Mr. Buyer, if you watch this video, believe me, you have a lot of problem at the moment. You're in Africa, stranded. And in Africa, you have to do something about it, you know, under the hand. When I was in Africa, I was stopover in Ghana. I give something in their hand. I was in the airport transit, and my luggage was not given to me, and they asked me to go out to pick up my luggage. I said, no, I'm not going out in the airport because I'm gonna need a visa. No, I'm only a transit for a few hours. What I have done, I give something. And you, Mr. Baya, if you don't know how to put grease, they're all corrupt. Hmm. But my seller, they knows my temper. I know the culture. Mhm. Do not cut corner. You're gonna be considered as a smuggler. You're gonna be considered as a gold launderer. You go online or go on my Facebook. I have an article, I search it, I put that on my platform so that you will read what is the meaning of gold launderer. You are part of the syndicate, Mr. Buyer, if you're asking C.I.F. You are. You're gonna be caught. One, two, three, it's fine. You make money. But what's out? Every move today, you're gonna be what's out and you're gonna be monitored. Just like this one. Just like this one. This is a big company. Now they were being questioned. Last year there was 50 tons of gold confiscated in the airport from Mali. Mali is the second largest gold producer in West Africa. Sierra Leone have tons of gold. But the seller would not tell you that he have tons of gold. They are very extra careful because the government needs an income. The seller has to declare. Right, you are going to pay the products plus a value added tax. However, when you talk to Wilhelmina, I am with you. I am a very good negotiator. When I travel with you, my services is not for free. If you cannot afford my extra service, meaning to say you cannot afford to pay 1 bar. Mhm. You're gonna say, oh, Wilhelmina, I wanna buy 1 bar. We don't sell 1 bar. This is for export. Minimum at least 10 kilos. At least. You don't get a profit on 1 kilo. What a waste of time. Mhm. Our selling price, Mr. Buyer, on 22 carats, $54,000 as today. But you have not make a decision. So come to Wilhelmina for video conference, open your camera. I will ask you, convince me, then you will get gold. My calendar, May, today is March. I'm not available. March, April, my schedule is hectic. My schedule will be open May 1st until 14. From 14 to 20, I have another schedule. I have a buyer. I will travel month of May. I have 2 or 3 buyers to take. One for Conakry, and one for Sierra Leone, and one for Mali. So my time is very hectic. I don't want you to travel without Wilhelmina. Believe me, you're gonna be frustrated. I'm telling you. It's better to pay rather than to be frustrated. Guaranteed, I've been to Africa several times. My transaction has been successful. If you cannot afford your travel, I can guarantee you you're gonna fail. Thank you very much, Mr. Buyer. Hang on. What is the price of gold before I'm going to close? Okay, I'm gonna look at the price of gold today. Just bear with me. Now, the price of gold is 58,998, almost 59. On the 22 carats, $54,000. Out of 58,998, less 8%, $54,000. So, Mr. Buyer, don't be scared. Don't be panicked. I am here with you. How much you can afford? Tell me. Convince Wilhelmina. I'll beat you. You're gonna be happy. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good morning to you when you wake up. I don't know what time is it in your country. The time here is 8 o'clock in the evening already. By the way, Mr. Buyer, the full corporate offer is already in front of you. Just take time. Don't rush. Digest it properly. When you are ready, come back. Then we can talk business. All right? Have a pleasant good evening and have a pleasant good morning. We are now Friday, end of the week. We don't know on Monday. The price might be 61, 62. You never know. So book now. I can guarantee you, you will get the supply.